In the Pacific Northwest, there is legend of a large, hairy, wild beast. He has been startling campers, scaring hikers, and spooking park rangers for decades. Of course, I'm talking about Botfoot, and he's the subject of this week's
TCW talks about Stikbot video things or something. I don't know what it's called. The series. I don't know, this intro isn't fun. If you remember that intro and know what show I'm talking about, then good job. If you don't, well, prepare to discover, or rediscover, this epic Forgotten Stikbot series. Anyway, if that didn't ring any bells, maybe this intro will. What a banger intro, right? The intro isn't really unique to this show. I mean, it is, but like in the term of like Stikbot show intros and how I'd rank them, I'd say, you know, they're all pretty good for the most part. And this one is definitely one of those. Wut Dat is an old Stikbot Central series that lasts for one episode? Huh. We'll talk about that later. Anyway, this was released on March 31st of 2017 over here. Back when Stikbot Central was good. I honestly think that's pretty much all you need to know in order for you to be somewhat interested in this topic. Anyway, the show's particularly trying to be a parody of like old fake ghosts like TV shows, I guess. And it works pretty well in that, I think. It's good and it stands out on its own from a lot of other Stikbot shows. You know, with the spooky tone and everything. Basically, the show's about this guy trying to solve a bunch of mysteries like, you know, Bigfoot, abominable snowman type stuff, but this episode was only Bigfoot and there was no other episodes and there hasn't been in 4 years, so yeah. It's crazy, I know, very original concept. Sarcasm aside, obviously. He interviews people about situations and brings some of them onto the show to make things more interesting and like get closer to the case being solved. A lot of these situations play out pretty funny and are actually kind of interesting. Here, I'll play one for you.
I was minding my own business, getting ready to shoot some unsuspecting and innocent woodland creatures when I saw him. 12 feet tall, fangs and hair. Made a sound I wouldn't want to hear twice in my life. 3 times maybe, but not twice.
But yeah, another thing I noticed is this show has some really good standout voice acting. Like honestly, I forgot how much I love the old Stikbot Central voice acting. New Stikbot Central was pretty decent at voice acting, but
half and half soy or almond! What in the world?
It's more hit or miss nowadays. Another thing that makes me appreciate this series is just the writing. Like, a lot of the humor is so dry and deadpan, which makes it kind of brilliant, honestly. Nothing goes on for too long or too little, which is probably why the episode is only, like, exactly 3 minutes, I'm pretty sure. The animation is also good as always. Nothing standout, but I think it's serviceable and suits the show well. Not everything has to be S-tier animation all the time, unless the situation calls for it. Speaking of, I've been called out in the past for unfairly criticizing projects about animation, like holding it to really high regards or anything. But here's the thing. When you make an animated video, it should have some elements of decent animation at least, I think. I mean, I personally get annoyed by a lot of freeze frames. I mean, I obviously know why they exist and I use them too, but not to the degree that other people are. Not calling them out, but I just find it personally a bit annoying. I know why they exist. Like, it's convenient, it saves time. The characters don't have to, like, be moving around all the time also. So, yeah. It's very convenient, like I said. When there's something like an action scene, though, or your movie is an action movie, you need to animate it so that, you know, it captivates the viewer so that it's not taking them out of the action or whatever is going on. Unless you have dialogue and characters that can, like, really get you invested into each of them, then, you know, I'm not really gonna look out for the animation that much. But, you know, when your characters aren't, like, you know, freaking, like, Breaking Bad levels of, like, in-depth and all that, you know, I'm gonna look at the animation because that's what I'm seeing on screen anyway. It doesn't need to be god-tier animation, but at least give the audience, like, a sense of scope and immersion. Anyway, Wut Dat isn't an action series, so it's not really fair to compare, like, animation and stuff to that anyway. Not everything, like, good animation doesn't need to be for action series also. Just generally good animation like this is, you know, a positive, obviously. So, yeah, just wanted to put that out there. Anyways, let's continue watching the episode, shall we?
Well, I was shooting a documentary on honey badgers. I was tracking a particularly angry male and I...
Wait, hold on. Tiny, is that your dad? Or is that, like, actually you? Bro, no way you were, like, sounding this old back in 2017, dog. What the heck? So, thoughts overall on Wut Dat? I think it's pretty good, and that it should have continued for way more episodes, to be honest. If this was, like, a modern Stikbot Central show, I don't really think it would have gotten ruined that much, like, in terms of animation and everything. But, like, the humor in modern Stikbot Central just isn't there anymore. And the humor basically carries a lot of the show, I'm not gonna lie. So if this was like modern Stikbot Central, they would have absolutely ruined this. So in a way, I'm kind of glad that this didn't continue like a lot of other Stikbot Central shows, because we get to preserve a masterpiece, this one masterpiece, and it's all to ourselves. And it's very special. So thank you, Animation Daddy, I'm pretty sure you gave this to us. Thank you for bringing Wut Dat into the world. It is a gift that I will treasure forever. Thank you. Jeez, I made it sound like Wut Dat was like a baby or something. What the heck? Alright, video basically over. But one last thing. Donate to Team Trees if you're epic. Oh yeah, also subscribe and like and...
Well, there you have it.
Wut Dat.